When you want your spring break to feel like... and your kids' pool day to feel like... and your hotel bed to feel like... ooh, and room service to feel like... because at Hilton, hospitality feels like...
Your cabana's ready. Would you like fresh towels?
it matters where you stay. Book now at Hilton.com. Hilton, for the stay.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
Before we jump in, let's be real. This podcast contains jokes, laughter, and a whole lot of real talk. Yes, we cover serious crimes. Yes, we add a little humor, but never, and I mean never, at the expense of the victims or their families. If you're sensitive, easily offended, or the type to clutch your pearls every time someone laughs during a true crime story, this may not be the podcast for you. But if you like your true crime with a little bit of spice, a lot of honesty, and just enough petty to keep it fun, welcome to Melanin Mysteries, baby. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another week of Melanin Mysteries. If you're new here, hey cousin, we are so happy you found us. And to our regulars, how the family doing? You didn't crash out this week? Good, you survived another one. So around here, we cover the cases that make people uncomfortable because they are real. Real people, real relationships, and real life situations that went all the way left. We rely on the facts, what's been reported in the news, victim and offender accounts, and court documents. And yes, we're going to put our sauce on it so it's not dry and boring, but the facts will always stay just that, the facts. So let me say this early. Heed the disclaimer. If you know you're going to be in your feelings, this may not be the podcast for you. And that is okay because everybody ain't built for this content and we respect it. Now, quick church announcements. Do you have your tickets for Ladies Night In, a melanin mashup with Melanin Mayhem and Melanin Mysteries? And yes, minus Willie, because this one is for the ladies only. And make sure you're subscribed on Spotify. To the cousins who already signed up, we appreciate you. We love you for real. Because Love, Lies, and Alibis already lives over there. Subscriptions episodes drop ad-free and early on Sundays. And coming up, One Bad Night, hosted by me, drops on February 7th. The Cousin Confessions drop on Valentine's Day, so make sure you're getting those submissions in. The link to the Cousin Confessions is in the show notes. Merch and more is always available at melaninmysteries.com. And don't forget to leave us a 5-star review. We only accept 5 stars wherever you're listening, because if you got a grievance or a critique, feel free to message us. I don't mind. There's always room for improvement. Now, let's go ahead and get into this case. If you're from Cleveland, we're almost certain you already know about this one, or you know someone who knows someone connected to it, because let's be real. In Cleveland, it's only about 2 degrees of separation. And this case involves a relationship marked with escalating conflict, warning signs that didn't get the attention they deserved, and one night that ended in irreversible violence. What started as a domestic dispute ended with the woman losing her life at the hands of someone who claimed to love her in a community demanding accountability. So let's talk about Amanda Williams and Tirrell Edwards. I'm your host, Tiffany.
Host Willie. Here we go. I didn't think it would go down like this. I swear to God, I didn't. I did not. I love this woman. I really did. And I don't know, I keep replaying it over and over in my head, trying to figure out where it all went wrong. Like where I should have walked away, where I should have shut up, or I should have just left. But bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. She pushed me. And I don't know, but it's like something in me snapped. I don't even know if it was anger, pride, or just my own selfish ideas about control. I don't know if it was intentional or I don't know, like I just panicked and made the worst decision of my life. All I know is now that she's dead. And it would bite my... Now I'm fighting for my life, knowing there's no version of this story where I don't lose everything. And that's how you do it. That's how you win the Oscar.
I was gonna give you props, but never, you already did it yourself, so
Oh,
whatever.
Lord, y'all
So
messed up.
we gonna go straight to the night that everything went left. So it's October 19th, 2023. We're in Warrensville Heights, a suburb of Cleveland, if you don't know. And it's late, almost midnight, about 11:40 p.m. And that's when 911 gets a call from a man who doesn't dance around it. He like, look, I just shot my fiance. There was no confusion, no hesitation, just a statement. And this man, Tirrell Edwards. Now, police respond within minutes, and when they arrive, Tirrell isn't running. He's outside the home, waiting along with Tyler Williams, which is going to be our victim's daughter. Tirrell directs officers straight into the house. He tells them that Amanda is upstairs and she's holding a knife. So officers go upstairs and they find Amanda Williams lying on the floor in a pool of blood. She's badly injured, and yeah, there is a knife under her body. So EMS is already on the way, and Amanda is rushed to South Point Hospital, just a few blocks from the house. But before anyone even finishes processing what they're walking into, Tirrell has already told police, like we said, that he was the one who shot her. So right there at the scene, Tirrell is arrested. This is where things start to get a little bit interesting. As he's being taken into custody, Tirrell tells officers to check his cell phone because he recorded the entire incident and he has multiple videos. And according to him, these videos prove that it was self-defense. So we're going to pause right here for just a second because this isn't a mystery about who pulled the trigger. The shooter has already identified himself. The victim was his fiance. There's a knife involved, and now we have some video footage. So from this point on, the case isn't about if Tirrell shot Amanda. It's about what happened inside that house before the gun went off and whether those videos actually support the story he's telling. So we need to rewind because nothing like this just explodes out of thin air. So the day before Amanda's killed, she's not even in Cleveland. She's actually down with Willie in Columbus working. So Amanda was a hairstylist and she was down there for a hair show. Sis was booked, busy, and focused, doing what grown women do when bills are paid and goals are in front of them. But while she's working, her and Terrell are arguing all day, texting, calling back and forth. And at some point, she just stops responding because for real, like that's not sneaky behavior. That's just I'm tired. That's I don't have the energy for this shit today. That's I'm choosing peace between you because this argument is going nowhere. That's I'll deal with this when I get home, not while I'm trying to work. And every woman listening knows that move. But apparently that didn't sit well. So they end up talking again. The argument continues, and somewhere in the middle of all that, Amanda makes a decision that a lot of us have made at least once in our life. She calls the phone provider and she cuts him off her phone plan.
Damn.
And listen, when the bill is in your name, you can make the executive decisions, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I've been there. You can't do nothing about it.
Can't do
I will
nothing
cut
about
you
it.
off in a second.
In the New York Minute.
So when Tirrell finds out, he's like, all right, bet. He's like, I'm just gonna go out and get myself a new phone. No big deal. Now keep in mind, at this point, they're living together in the same house, same walls. It's gonna be some tension. So this isn't like a distance cooling anything off. This is like pressure building. So Amanda comes back to Cleveland the next day, and it's the day that everything happens. The arguing picks right back up because those all day arguments don't magically reset. They simmer, they drag, and then they bleed into the evening.
If you don't argue the right way, that's when they do that. You know what I'm saying? I think it is very important in a relationship to know how to communicate even when you're angry. With that being said, go ahead and take it from here, Tiffany.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you.
You
Communication
agree
is
with
so
me? You
yes.
agree with me?
Don't do that. Communication is very important. Like I say, in that I think that is like one of the number one failures in relationships. People don't know how to communicate properly.
I don't. People don't know how to disagree properly. I think that's what it is. People don't know how to disagree properly. They think a disagreement automatically has to be like
An
conflict or
argument, and that's
argument,
not
and it
true.
really doesn't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, each one of us are have a different opinion, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think people know how to. Some people don't know how to accept what criticism, and some
Hmm.
people just don't know how to disagree. But go ahead.
Right. So
I don't argue. You know what I'm saying? I tell my girl like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, see, your best friend was right about you, and I just take off running.
well, that's very immature. So according to Terrell, this is when he starts recording not once or twice, but he got three different videos. Now, this is what he said what had happened, right? And you
What had
already know
happened?
when a nigga start off a story, well, what had
Mm-hmm.
happened was it's going down fuck hill from here. So he claims that Amanda came upstairs. She's holding a knife in one hand and a large lighter in the other. He also says that at some point he had 2 guns inside his nightstand, and according to him, he takes those guns out to his car, and then he comes back in the house. And when he comes back inside, he said he heard Amanda on the phone with police telling him that she wanted him removed from the house.
Okay.
Don't blame her. So, because calling the police to have someone removed isn't escalation. That's just asking for help.
Once you call police on me, nigga, it's over. I'm done.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, when I called the police on old girl, because she broke in my house and
It
broke
wasn't
my
over
TV.
though. So
It was over for me.
no, it wasn't. You went like a whole nother 2-3 months messing with that girl. I told you that she was gonna break into your house, and she didn't break into your house because you kept leaving your door unlocked. And I kept telling you about leaving your door unlocked. I was like, one day you'll come home.
That's still aggravated. It's aggravated burglary. She broke in. I didn't give her permission to walk in my house. Granted, the TV.
Well, had you locked your door, she wouldn't have walked in.
But yeah, you're right. She had a big ass foot, so she couldn't knock that door down.
Again, she didn't. You left the door unlocked and I told you don't be listening to me.
All right, first of all, why you even bringing up old shit? Let's talk to get to the story. Go ahead.
Yeah, So, according to Tirrell, he tells her he's just trying to gather his things. He has to work in the morning, and he don't want to deal with this no more. But the argument, it just keeps going, and the phone is still Sakar recording. So at one point, Tirrell, and this is on the video, asks Amanda if she's going to stab him, and Amanda responds that she's gonna defend herself, and she's like, "Look, you gotta go." And then, according to Tirrell, Amanda takes his phone, allegedly the same phone that's recording everything, and she starts stabbing the phone with the knife. Because Tirrell claims that at this point he reaches under the mattress on the other side of the bed and grabs a gun that he says belonged to Amanda.
Now, why can't niggas just leave? Just leave. I don't understand. Like, so many situations can literally be avoided if your ass would just leave, my nigga. If it get into a point where it escalated, where knives getting brought out, leave the fucking premises. Just leave. I don't understand. Like, leave. When she broke in my house and I walked up to my house and I saw that door open, and I know I didn't leave it open, I left. And I called the police. I didn't even go in and even say nothing to her. I called the police.
That said, you knew it was
lock her up. I knew it. Lock her up.
They didn't lock her up. But anyway. Okay, so he says that Amanda was coming towards him with a knife. And then he fires the gun. But he don't fire once because, once is, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to scare you maybe. I'm trying to get you away from me. Nah. He don't even shoot twice because twice is like, all right, it's the warning shot. Hey, come on, I'm dead serious now.
Back up, bitch. Come on now. Come on.
He shot her 6 times.
Yeah, he ain't shit.
6.
Yeah, that nigga, that was personal.
Right. That's not panic. That is not accidental. And like I said, that is not a warning. Whatever was happening in that house, whatever the argument was, whatever emotions were flying, this poor woman didn't even survive it.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And as a woman, as someone who understands being fed up, needing space and wanting somebody out of your face, that's heartbreaking. Because at the end of the day, she did call the police for help and she just wanted him removed. She was just trying to reclaim her space. And this is another point I would like to make. This is why you don't move in with nobody. Because you ain't gonna put me. I'm sorry. I'm very big on, sometimes like you do. Somebody gotta leave, but you ain't gonna put me out of my house. You, like Medea said, you can put me out of half. I'm gonna go to the other half of the house, but you ain't gonna put me out my house. This is why you don't move in with people.
I got kicked out, man. I lived with one chick. Her name, I would say her name. Her name was Celine. Man, look just like Chili from TLC. Fine as hell, man. She put me out.
Relevancy.
So, I'm telling you, her baby daddy. I mean, she was fine. Her baby daddy just got out of jail. You know what I'm saying? So I was there for months, helping her pay everything. Soon as this nigga got out of jail, nigga, she said deuces. And I said, I'd never do that shit again, man. Matter of fact, that's the first time I cried.
I've had niggas live with me, but not the other way around, because you ain't putting me out of shit. I'd be like, oh, we gonna move
How many niggas you didn't put out?
Together.
How many niggas you didn't put out? All of them.
I only live with 2.
And all of them, you put them both out.
You said it all. It was only 2, and one I was married to.
Okay. So out of both of them, how many you put out? 2. That would be all of them, correct? Yes.
Okay, so one was a husband, one was a fiance. So I mean, hey, whatever.
It anyway. So, and this is where the story gets real ugly, y'all, because Amanda wasn't alone in that house. Her daughter Tyler was home. She hears the gunshots, not yelling, not arguing, but gunshots. So, of course, she runs upstairs because that's her mother. When Tyler gets upstairs, she sees her mom on the floor. She tells police that Tirrell is standing there on his phone. Let that land for a second, right? Your mother is shot, bleeding on the floor, and he's doing something on a phone. Tyler says Tirrell tells her to go downstairs and call an ambulance. Ambulance. But here's the part. Ambulance. But here's the part that would never sit right with me, right? He does not let her go near.
This episode is brought to you by Trace Minerals. Most people aren't getting the minerals they need to support optimal movement. And your body doesn't make them on its own. That's why Trace Mineral Drops delivers over 70 essential minerals to help restore what your body is missing. So, if you're choosing just one supplement, make it minerals. Trace Minerals. Minerals keep you moving. Save 20% on traceminerals.com with code PODCAST.
With Venmo Stash, a toggle on one hand and ordering a ride in the other means you're stacking cash back. With Venmo Stash, get up to 5% cash back when you pick a bundle of your favorite brands. Earn more cash when you do more with Stash. Venmo Stash terms and exclusions apply. Max $100 cash back per month. See terms at venmo.me/stash terms.
Her mom, right? Not to touch her, not to help her, not even to be close to her. So imagine being a child, seeing your mama like that and being told...
She's not a child, she's an adult, but that's still her child.
I mean, but that's still a child though, regardless, nigga, that's your parent. So I don't care, you know what I'm saying? Even if you 5 or 28, nigga, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you seeing them on the ground. So anyway, so Tyler does what, you know what I'm saying, she's told. She goes downstairs, she calls for help. And then Tirrell Edwards calls 911. This is the call where he tells them that he killed his fiance. This is also where he starts explaining himself, saying Amanda was holding him hostage with a knife. My nigga, you could have left. Just throwing it out there. Police later say that they did find a knife underneath Amanda's body. And that knife becomes the centerpiece of his story, because from that moment on, everything splits in two. On one side, you got Tirrell saying it was self-defense, right? On the other side, you got a woman who got shot 6 times, my nigga, and a daughter who heard it and saw it and was kept away from her own mother in her final moments, and no amount of explaining changes that. No video, no narrative, no courtroom spin. A child watched her mother die. I don't give a fuck how old she is. Nigga, she is a child, and she saw her mama die. And that's the part nobody can talk their way around. And this is where the story stops being about what somebody says happened and start being about who Amanda Williams actually was. Because Amanda did not survive, unfortunately. She later passed away at the hospital from her injuries. And once that happens, everything changes. This is no longer about an argument. This is no longer about videos or explanations. This is about a woman who is gone and a whole lot of people who now have to live with that, right? Amanda Williams was the daughter of Georgia Williams, born and raised right here in Cleveland, Ohio. She was a mother, a grandmother, and a sister. And Amanda wasn't just existing. She was active. Everybody knew her, right? This is on the side note. She was well known in Cleveland. Usually, like, hairdressers, a lot of hairdressers and everything, they are always well known. But she was well known in Cleveland, right? Very known. She was a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated. And if you know anything about Deltas, you know service, leadership, and showing up are non-negotiable, right? Amanda was a well-known hairstylist, like I said, working at University Heights, which is a suburb outside of Cleveland. And everybody said the same thing about her. She could slay some hair, yes, but more importantly, she poured into people, right? Her chair was a safe place. You came in for a style and left feeling better than when you sat down. People described her as a sweetheart, positive, caring, deeply involved in her church and her community. She was that woman. Now, let's talk about her relationship, because from the outside, of course, it looked good, right? Amanda and Tirrell started dating in 2017. They moved in together in 2019, and by 2022, they were engaged. So that timeline is pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like a situation where they started dating in 2017, get engaged in 2017, and married. They ain't like me. You know what I'm saying? They
I was about to say they
nigga, don't do that.
They ain't like you. They don't do
nigga,
the
don't do that.
Beyonce.
Don't do that. All right, we not about to do that today. So Tirrell was about 5 years younger than Amanda. And to anybody looking from the outside, they look like a couple building something, right? Working, planning, moving forward. But we all know how that goes, right? What my bestie say, you know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't what they post to be. Know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So what people see online, what people smile through, what looks cute from the outside doesn't always reflect what really is happening when the doors close, right? And whatever was going on behind those doors, whatever the tension was, whatever the arguments were, Amanda Williams did not make it out alive. Rest in heaven. And that loss ripples far behind that house because this wasn't just someone's fiance. Again, this was somebody's mama, grandmother, sister, sorority sister, stylist, safe place. And that matters, man. Man.
Okay, so I'm gonna take back over at this point because now we need to get down. We need to go down to the station. So everybody's got them at this point. The police, detectives, everybody. And this is where I really need y'all to listen to me because I don't understand why people forget this part when you go down to the station. You have the fucking right to remain silent. I'm gonna say it one more time and louder for people in the back. You have the fucking right to remain silent, and I mean shut the fuck up because silence is free. I don't know why everybody thinks they need to go down to the police station and start telling their life story like it's story time at the library. Why are you talking without a lawyer? Me personally, I ain't saying shit.
Nigga, even if I'm innocent.
I don't care if I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not explaining. I'm not clarifying. I'm not helping y'all understand anything without an attorney present. I need counsel. Period. That's it. Be quiet. Now, Tirrell does not do any of this.
Damn.
He gets down to the station and he starts talking to detectives. And like I said, this has nothing to do with him personally about shutting the fuck up. I'm just saying this because people tend to run their mouths. Whether you're guilty, whether you're innocent, do not speak without an attorney present.
And wait, and the fact that you had to get that little quick disclaimer is just so crazy. And I'm sorry, I got to bring that up. Just a whole disclaimer about you're not trying to say that. That's so sad that we got to actually get that disclaimer because people will really be thinking we're telling murderers and killers not to tell on themselves.
And that's exactly why I said that because somebody will be like, "Oh my God, you said that is not what I said."
Not what we said. You dumb bitch. We didn't say that.
So, like we said, this man, he told them before, look, I got a recording of what happened, and he's explaining like the argument, the situation. He's explaining how this was all according to him, self-defense, all of it. So he like, look, before the shooting happened, I'm just trying to get my clothes together and leave. I had to work in the morning, and I didn't want to deal with the arguing. And then again, according to him, everything took a hard left. So at this point, he's being held, but he hasn't formally been charged yet. And this part is very important because police only have so much time. They can't say it out loud, but there literally is a clock ticking. And at the moment, they didn't believe they had enough to move forward with a formal charges or an indictment. So after questioning, he did stay there for 48 hours, but they had to let him go.
I thought it was 72.
No, according to the Warrensville police, they said they only had 48 hours.
Okay.
So, and this is why I'm screaming because people love to talk themselves into trouble. They love to give details nobody asked for, and they love to think that being honest is going to save them. It won't. Shut the fuck up and scream for a lawyer every single time.
Amen. Amen. So look, let's get into him for a second, right? Now, Tirrell Edwards was born January 4th, 1982, and honestly, we don't know much about him, right?
Not important.
Well, yeah, true that. But based on what's floating online, Facebook profiles, old articles, Tirrell lived from Cleveland, and yes, I said Cleveland, not East Cleveland, because there is a big difference, and if you know, you know. At one point, it appears he attended Maple Heights High School. He would have been
a MHHS class of 04.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, shout out to y'all. Damn, nigga, I'm old. Anyway, he would have been a few
how you
years.
think I feel? Ooh.
Nigga, I was born. I graduated in the 90s, man.
Oh yeah, that is old.
I graduated when crack was still relevant. Know what I'm saying? Yes, nigga, you graduated when they started doing ecstasy. It's a big ass difference. So anyway, At one point, it appears he attended Maple Heights, like I said. But here's the thing about Cleveland, right? And this is so true, right? There's only about a half a degree of separation. Everybody knows somebody who knows somebody. Prime example, me and my best friend, me and my bestie Tiffany, right? Guess how the crazy the half a degree of separation applies to us. My brother graduated with her and Ashley used to date her best friend. So anyway, everybody knows somebody who knows somebody. I promise you, if I showed his face to 10 people right now, at least a few of them would say, "Oh yeah, I know him."
I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Everybody like, oh, I know him. Oh,
Everybody.
like you said it earlier.
Yeah, I'm about to say, tell him what just happened.
You called and you was like, I knew him. I installed his cameras.
Yes, I installed to do. This is so crazy. Me and Tiffany talked about this case when it first happened. Like me and her talked about it, and I kept telling her like, "Damn, I know that dude," or whatever. You know, life goes on. She do the research. I just, I make y'all laugh. When she did the research and I was going over rehearsing, I'm like, that's where I know the nigga from. I got pictures in my phone while I did his cameras, right? That's crazy part. So he had his own place. They were living together, but when I did his cameras, I looked. That was in This happened in 2022, right?
23.
23 in 2022 is when I did his camera. So anyway, like I said, everybody know everybody, man, and that's exactly what happened when she started digging. Because when everything went down, there were posts on the Cleveland Remembrance page, old articles circulated, and of course, like Tiffany always do, she goes straight to the comments. And this is where things get interesting, because guess who? You gotta tell this story. Go ahead, you tell this part. Go ahead.
Okay, so I came across a comment. It was from my old CBE business teacher, and I won't say her name.
Say that bitch name. No, say her name.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not even gonna say her name. Just to be safe. But if you went to Maple, they know who this bitch is.
What did she listen to?
You never know. But she commented something like, "Oh wow, I remember when he used to go to Maple Heights High School. I would have never thought he would do something like this." And I just had to pause for real. And because let me tell you something, because this is really off topic, but for real, that bitch was mean as fuck. And I'm not meaning like she was a strict teacher mean. No, she was mean. Like the kind like years later you realize it wasn't you, because years later, like after we graduated, somebody blew up that bitch car at the school. That's how much they hated that lady. She was evil.
Wait, you said they blew up her car?
Yes, they blew up her car. Like a bomb blew that bitch car up.
Damn, that bitch you got to be a... Damn, I had one teacher like that, man. Her name was Miss Richardson, man. She had a little afro too, and that bitch was... That damn afro was... Not one string was out of place. Not one string of hair was out of place. But she was mean as hell, Miss Richardson, man. Ugh.
No, I think Miss Benny, she was racist. That's not her full name, but that's what we called her. She was racist and she was evil.
Oh, she was white?
You already know she was.
Well, why you don't say the bald name? You know that bitch ain't listening to us. I ain't gonna say that because we do got white listeners. We'll give a shout out to my Caucasian family. I love y'all. But you know that broad ain't. Anyway, let's get back to Tirrell. It does appear that he has a daughter, but beyond that, there isn't much public information out there. No long history, no deep personal background, just pieces. That's it. Some people describe them as having a cocky attitude, but all that become background noise once we get to the part that actually matters. And the crazy part is I can't even tell you anything about the dude. Usually, I always get a story. I don't remember shit about him. I just remember he paid me. That's it. That's it. That's all I know.
I don't know. But because no matter how little we know about Tirrell, we know this. We know a woman is dead. And he is the man who shot Amanda Williams.
On October 11, 2023, Tirrell Edwards is released from custody. And before people start yelling how and why would they do that, this is what, as Tiffany explained earlier, unfortunately, legal requirements dictate that individuals detained for 48 hours must either be charged or released. So as of October 11th, Tirrell Edwards has been released from custody. Now, although he's a suspect, and he's being released at the time, the investigation remains open and active between Warrenville Heights Police Department and Cuyahoga County Prosecution Office. Now, let me translate that, out of the police language. They have 48 hours, and by law, after those 48 hours, you either got to charge somebody or you let them go. right? But that don't mean, again, for the illiterate sons of bitches, that don't mean he gets off. That just mean they're gonna let him go and they're gonna still do the investigation. That's it. And at that moment, they said they did not have enough to formally charge him. So on October 11th, Tirrell Edwards walks out. And this is why people were hot. And just on the side note, niggas was mad, bro. I remember niggas was mad. This was on the news, Facebook. Man, I said, first of all, you know this nigga could, when he got out, he had to go into hiding. It ain't
He
no
had to,
way
'cause
possible you could have been out in these streets. Because everybody in Cleveland knew her. She was well loved. And to hear that a nigga shot her 6 times, I don't care what she did.
First of all, I don't 6 times to me at that point it's not self-defense. So I don't understand why right there they couldn't just keep him locked up, because 6 times is not
because they
self-defense.
got
That's once, twice, that's all I'm gonna give you. 6, that's overkill and that's excessive. That's not
but
self-defense.
they gotta do their due diligence, I'm assuming, right? So because when Amanda's funeral happens on October 19th, this man had already been out and released for over a week. So he's not locked up. He's not even charged yet. He's not sitting anywhere waiting. He is actually free. And Cleveland was not about to just accept that quietly. That police statement might sound calm and procedural, but in real life, you can't lie. That's like a slap in the face to a community that just had buried someone they loved. And yes, the statement says the investigation is still open and active, but let's be honest, open and active doesn't feel like justice when a person who pulled the trigger is walking around. I told you guys last week about the situation about the dude that shot my father, how I saw him walking around before I knew what bail was. So I get that feeling knowing that somebody killed your loved one or whatever, or in my case, he shot him. He didn't kill him, but did this, and they're just out. You looking like, oh shit, nigga, you gotta die. And that release on October 11th is exactly what lit the match, right? That's what led to the press conference at the Word Church. And if y'all don't know about the Word Church, let me tell y'all about the Word Church. The Word Church
just Google it.
The Word Church is a mega church in Cleveland. You can Google it, man. And the pastor, Pastor Burnett, is, some people say bad things and good things about him, but I ain't about to get into it this time. We did. Remember we went in on him on one of our episodes.
Yeah, it was Tracy and Paulette Burleson. Yeah, we
didn't. Yeah, go back if you want to hear. If
that was the 5th episode, I believe.
Yes, like go back and listen if y'all want to hear. But we ain't gonna do it this episode because I'm a changed man and I'm a child of God. So Pastor R.A. Vernon telling people.
Back then too.
I know that, but I'm more of a child of God now. No, because it's a new year, 2026, baby. Pastor R.A. Vernon telling people to flood the prosecution office and the community applying pressure until the system finally moved. This pastor literally went on live TV, and this pastor, it's a huge church in Cleveland, right? So he got pulled, he got clout. You know what I'm saying? He went on the news and was like, nah, y'all got to charge him. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to charge him. So because if that release never happened, this story might have actually went totally different.
Yeah, honestly, I don't believe that if he would have did that, I think he would have got off.
I hate to say it, but I believe you. That's the one thing the Word Church did do good. You know what I'm saying? Woods do that part. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Now you asking niggas for their tax returns and all that shit. I can't,
Sweet baby black Jesus. So anyway, the police actually do end up putting out, they indicted him, and then they put out, like they went on the news and they were urging him to turn himself in. So he actually did turn himself in. He's back in custody, and the court process finally starts moving. So he's arraigned on November 7th, 2023, and the judge sets his bond at $1 million. A lot of money.
Not a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. So we're going to pause because people hear bond and assume folks just walk out. Yes, technically, if you can post at least 10% through a bondsman, but 10% of $1 million is $100,000. So unless somebody just casually got 100 bands lying around, yeah, because
hold on now, they could put up a house now. You could put up a house for collateral.
I mean, yeah, but like, it ain't that many people gonna put up their house.
Shit, it's some dumbass niggas that put up their house for their family. I know my mama, I love her to death, but her dumb ass would have put up her house
You did
from
not just call
Michael.
your mama dumb.
She would have.
I'm telling. I'm
That was.
snitching.
Don't do that. As a matter of fact, I'm in charge of editing. I'm taking it out.
You still said it. I'm telling. So, like I said, most people don't have that type of money laying around, and honestly, some people. I say I don't know many people that's gonna put up their house, but I mean, hey. So, of course, Tirrell, he stays in jail while the case moves forward. So, he's actually ordered to submit a DNA sample and he pleads not guilty. Then he's appointed a public defender. So, this is already going downhill, sir. It's not looking good. So, and then the court denies his motion to reduce bond, as they should. So, at this point, like we said, he's just sitting.
And let me
So-
tell y'all, bro, the county is the worst place you could see. I know niggas that literally cop out to a plea just to get out of the county to go straight to jail. That's how bad the county is. Because our county bad. Niggas be dying all the time in our county jails. I think a nigga just died like a month ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I say I ain't never been to county jail.
I hope not.
Yeah, I said I went down there one time to visit my brother, and I was like, "Ooh, I am never coming back down here again." I was like, "Ooh, no." But before this, Tirrell, he had no prior criminal history at all, like no conviction, no record of violent offenses. And I just want to be clear about why that matters and why it also doesn't matter. It matters because it's something the defense is absolutely going to highlight, but it doesn't matter because a clean record doesn't erase what happened that night. So both things can be true. So the trial officially begins February 26, 2024. They did not waste no time. That is probably the fastest we've ever seen somebody get that going. But I guess you said the county is so bad, but I don't know, but that's still that's just still a lot, like very fast. October, because he was arrested in November, December, that's 3 months. Usually they don't move that fast.
Yeah, they did, but I think it's all that pressure. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I believe it probably all that damn pressure from the public and then from the church, because it was doing. Pandemic was over by then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just saying, like, we've seen cases where it takes 8-9 years for somebody just to even go to trial or to even take a plea.
Yeah.
So that's just very quick. But just like everybody expected, Tirrell goes all in on a self-defense argument. That is a lane that he chose. So the state, they start calling witnesses. They call Tyler, Amanda's daughter. And let me just say that no amount of preparation is going to make it easy to sit in a courtroom and testify about watching your mother die. So she tells the jury what she heard, what she saw, and what Tirrell did. The officers took the stand. It was Officer Selena Coleman. She was one of the responding officers. Officer Christopher Jordan. He was the first officer inside the home, and he was the one who found Amanda's body. There was Officer John Vidette, whose vehicle Tirrell was placed in and who had Mirandized him and spoke with him. They also called Thomas, the landlord of the property. Then Lieutenant Parrish Johnson, the lead detective on the case. And then they start bringing out the experts. A video expert from the Cleveland Police Department, Dr. Elizabeth Burial. She was the medical examiner for Cuyahoga County. They brought in a DNA expert, Lisa Moore. They brought in Dr. John, a trace evidence expert. Basically, the state...
Class dismissed.
This class again?
Don't sit in courses you've already taken. University of Phoenix accepts eligible transfer credits and has a scholarship for transfer students. Finish your degree faster.
TaxAct is here anytime you want to easily file your taxes. TaxAct is here for the early birds who like to knock them out as soon as the season opens. And for the procrastinators who like to wait until the very last minute. TaxAct is also here for the middlers who file right in the middle of tax season. No one ever talks about the middlers, but TaxAct sees you, and TaxAct respects you. TaxAct, let's get them over with.
Said we laying this out brick by brick because your ass is not getting out of this.
Damn, they had everybody, their mama, they had some fried cook from B&M's in that bitch.
Literally everybody. So we're going to talk about these videos because people love to say, oh, what the videos prove without actually knowing what's on them. So like we said, there were 3 videos that were taken from his phone. So they said videos 1 and 2 show very short snippets of interactions between the two before the shooting. Then video 3 is recorded 7 minutes later. But on the 3rd video, you can hear the gunshots, but you don't see the actual shooting because the phone is being moved around and at times the lens is covered. So this unfortunately isn't some clear-cut cinematic proof of self-defense. But here's where the air shifts in the room. The
Okay.
ME testifies, and she says that all 6 shots fired hit Amanda. Every single one. And out of those 6 shots, 2 of them were fatal.
Mm.
So it was the one bullet that entered her back and another one that entered her neck, and those were the fatal shots. And they said the ones to her neck would have caused immediate paralysis. So when people start talking about panic, fear, or a mistake, we really got to sit with these facts because 6 shots, they all landed. 2 are fatal. 1 is from behind. So
That
she
was
was either
personal. Yeah.
turning to leave or
Or the bullet, the impact of the bullet
yeah,
could have twisted her around. But regardless,
yes.
that's 6 times you shot my
Is
nigga. Like,
excessive.
yeah,
Like
that's
that's
excessive.
where
Yeah.
like your self defense can't stand at all. That's it. Like we said, because this case isn't about whether or not there was an argument. It's about whether the level of force used actually matches the story being told, and that is what the jury had to decide.
And before we get into what he says happened next, I need to remind everybody of something real quick. Shut the fuck up is free. Free, legal, complimentary. Comes with the
You know
Constitution.
what? That need to be on the shirt.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, you ain't never lied. There we go. And clearly, Tirrell missed that class because he decides he's going to take the stand and testify in his own defense. Now, anybody who
Man.
watches true crime, even casually, knows that in a murder trial, that is usually not the smartest move. But he gets up there anyway. Whether it's arrogance, confidence, or just liking to hear himself talk, he decides the jury needs to hear directly from him. So he takes the stand and starts telling his version of events. He tells the jury that Amanda told him he needed to leave the house, but according to him, he didn't want to leave because he had to work the next day. This is why my niggas need to get your own shit. He says Amanda then told him he could stay, but that he should sleep with one eye open. Now pause. Because that's not something you casually say, and it's also not something you repeat out loud in front of 12 strangers unless you're trying to build a very specific narrative. But he keeps going. He tells the jury that after the change, he believed things were escalating. He claims he saw Amanda reach towards his nightstand where he says there were 2 guns. So according to him, that's when he takes the guns and put them outside in the car. Now here's where things start to get a little shaky. Because he also tells the jury that at that point he didn't actually think Amanda was going to do anything to him. Let that sink in. He didn't think she was going to hurt him, but he still removed the gun from the room, and she told him to sleep with one eye open. Okay. So he comes back inside, and when he does, he says he hears Amanda on the phone with police asking them to come to the house. At that point, he tells the jury he decides, all right, I'm going to leave. Right there, we wouldn't be having the conversation if that very moment that nigga would have left. He says he goes to get his clothes together for work, but then, according to Tirrell, he hears Amanda open the kitchen drawer. He said he comes up, she comes upstairs holding the knife, and that's when he pulls out his phone and starts recording.
Okay, so like we said, at this point he starts recording. And the video does show Amanda upstairs holding a knife. And in the video, Tirrell asks her what she's doing. So this is when Amanda responds, quote, I'm going to defend myself. And he asks her, quote, defend yourself from what? And this right here is where he fucked up at. And I'm going to tell you how and why in a second. So according to Tirrell, Amanda then charged at him. He said he stopped recording and put the phone down. So he claims Amanda snatched his phone from him and started stabbing the screen with the knife, damaging it so badly that he couldn't even use it to call 911. So he tells the jury that he then jumped across the bed, reached underneath the mattress where she says she kept a gun, grabbed it, and shot her because she was coming at him with the knife and he couldn't get away. Okay, now let me ask a very simple question, and I need everybody listening to stay with me. If Amanda stabbed your phone so badly that the screen was damaged to the point that you claim you couldn't even call 911, how? How did you record that third video? Because remember, there's 3 videos, and that video records the sounds of the shooting. So if the phone was so damaged, so unusable, so destroyed, how did it manage to record, and how did it still function long enough to capture that? Because you can't have it both ways. Either the phone was destroyed or it wasn't. Either you couldn't use it or you could. And this is why I said he fucked up earlier, because once you take the stand, you don't get to clean up your story later. Every word you say has to line up. And that math, it ain't mathing, okay? So this is where he really fucked up at. His phone, the same phone he claimed Amanda destroyed, was found right near her body, exactly where she fell after being shot. Okay, so I'm side-eyeing it. So the prosecution was like, okay, cool, let's talk. And they proceed to tear his ass up on cross-examination. So they start with the obvious question. Why did Amanda go and get a knife? And Tirrell, this nigga came with all the confidence and negacity in the world. And he insisted they had never fought before. Never. Okay, pause. If y'all have never fought, never argued, never, and that's a lie. Y'all ain't never argued and y'all been together, what, 5 years? Y'all ain't never argued?
Now, granted, I don't argue like that. I'm not an arguer, but nigga, we had disagreements. But yeah.
I mean, like 5 years argument.
Yeah, you niggas y'all that argue.
Never.
Yeah.
To say never is not realistic.
Not at all. But that remember what I used to say? That's just like the nigga that like, so how's your marriage? Oh, we're perfect. We're great. Like, nah, nigga. Nah.
Right. So if y'all had like this great relationship, why would she feel the need to go and grab a knife to defend herself? Because women don't just wake up and say, let me arm myself for fun, because that's not how fear works. So then he doubles down and says he had never been violent with her, ever. So the prosecutor asked him something very simple and very direct. He said, have you ever done anything to make Amanda feel like a battered woman? And this man responded by saying, quote, she was not that type of woman to go for being battered.
Oh. Said, nah, you
Oh, is there a type, a checklist? Is a battered woman a personality trait now?
The fact that he knows that makes you think he tried it and she checked
right,
his
and she
ass.
probably whooped his ass.
Exactly. So he said, "Now, at that time, I'm going to have to shoot the bitch." Because I'm like, real talk.
I said what he said. When he said it, when I read it, I was like, "Oh, so you tried that shit, and she probably whooped you. She probably popped your ass or did something." And yeah. So the prosecution tightens the leash, and he asks Tirrell if he recalls, did anything happen maybe November of 2020 to make Amanda feel battered? So then they plot a text message and show him a message that Amanda sent him on November 27th, 2020. And in her own words, she refers to an altercation between the two of them and says she felt like a battered woman.
You jive ass turkey.
Then this man said, I don't remember. But then in the same breath, he follows it up with saying, I've never been violent with her before. Sir, which one is it? You don't remember, but you also 100% sure you never did anything. Okay, that's not amnesia. That's selective bullshit. I'm gonna call it.
So yeah, and well, hold on. In his defense, and again, playing the devil's advocate. So calm down, the niggas in the back. What if it's a situation where he like, I don't remember a situation what made her say that. You see what I'm saying? Not to say okay, I'll shut my ass up then. Go ahead and proceed.
I'm sorry, like I don't know.
Hey, look, go ahead. I'm gonna be quiet. Go on ahead.
Okay, so they like, all right, you don't remember that one? Don't even worry about it. We got something else for you. So they start showing him more texts. And they like, so do you remember apologizing for kicking Amanda in the head?
Oh, God damn it. You son.
But no, hold on. It gets worse. This is where I freaking lost my mind. This man, he got up there. He stood. He sat up real straight. He had all the confidence and audacity in the world. And he said, quote, I kicked her in the face. Not in the head. Excuse the fuck out of me. I beg your finest pardon.
Lock him up. Guilty. Guilty as charged.
I beg your finest pardon. You said I didn't kick her in the head. I kicked her in the face. Is that better?
Yeah.
I'm very confused. I'm lost and or confused. Like this, it was the fact that he said it with his chest though. That part got me too. So your defense is not that it never happened, but you want to correct the location of the kick. Okay, my bad. That's completely my fault for thinking. I'm sorry.
I didn't kick her in her damn head. What's wrong with y'all? I kicked her in her face.
Right. I'm so sorry. That is so my fault for thinking.
Respect
My
my
bad,
domestic
sir.
violence. Respect my domestic violence.
Just fucking disgusting. So then, you know what? Then he gonna walk it back and he like, you know what? Matter of fact, now that you said something, I do remember saying that night. But then he was like, but you know what? I didn't even want things to go that far.
Mm.
So can you explain to me how you accidentally kick somebody in the face and just slip and fall? Because that's not a misunderstanding. That is a blatant choice. Blatant choice. And once you start correcting where you kick someone instead of denying that you kicked them at all, the jury already knew what time it was. Because at that point, you're not defending yourself because kicking somebody in the face is not self-defense in any form or fashion.
That's
I don't
just
care
like,
how you want to.
like, I'm not gay. I just like having sex with men. Like,
why was that relevant?
Because I don't do like, but you're gay. Like, it's just, I shouldn't say it that, huh? Damn.
I don't understand why that was relevant. Whatever.
No. In my defense, how he said I didn't like one is worse than the other. You know what I'm saying? You kicked her. No, I didn't kick her in the head. I kicked her in her face. The dude said I'm not gay, but I have sex with
I
dudes.
get that, but I'm not. I just don't see the analogy. But
jeez, go ahead, man.
So at this point, sir, you just telling on yourself. Very loudly, might I add. And like I said, the whole theme of this case right here is why I keep saying it.
What's that?
Shut the fuck up. It's free.
And that's about to be a shirt, y'all. So make sure that y'all get y'all.
It's coming soon.
Yeah, make sure y'all get y'all our damn, I can't even think of the word, man. The merch. Yes, damn. Make sure y'all get y'all merch, man, because I like that. Shut the fuck up, it's free.
Because once you get on that stand and start talking, your lies start tripping over each other, and they damn sure did.
Well, I said he ain't lie. He said I kicked her in her head. I kicked her in her face. You know
no, because remember, he said he had a straight up Rick James woman. Like, no, because I ain't never been violent with her before.
Right, so he probably don't think it's violent.
No, I ain't kick her in the head. I kicked her in the face. That was a straight up Rick James moment.
Yeah, straight Rick James. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. So before this even goes to jury, Facebook. I know, right? Before this even goes to jury, the prosecution brings everybody back to the second video because this is where Tirrell keeps tripping over his own lies. In that video, you hear Amanda ask him, "What are you doing with these covers?" Tirrell admits she was talking about his side of the bed. The covers had been moved. Now, mind you, this is the same bed where he claims there was a gun under the mattress. But when asked if he moved those covers to get the gun, he says no. Okay, sir. So the covers just slid themselves. Ghost activity, paranormal bedding. You know what I'm saying? Or them big ass.
It was a ghost in that room. Oh no.
Them big ass East Cleveland bed bugs could have did that shit. You put a leash on one of them bitches. Because at this point, nothing you're saying is making sense. Then the prosecution keeps pressing. Tirrell admits that while Amanda was hitting his phone with the knife, he never told her to stop. He never warned her. He never said, "I will shoot you if you don't stop," nothing. And then, and this part matters, he admits that while she was hitting the phone, Amanda was looking down at the phone. Not at him, not charging him, not lunging at him. She was focused on the phone. So let me get this straight. She's looking down. She's not attacking you. She's not running towards you. But somehow, she is such an immediate threat that you unload 6 bullets. Nigga, you's a bitch. At this point, both sides rest. Defense rests. Prosecution rests. And on March 1st, 2024, this mess gets handed to the jury. And baby, the jury took their time. They didn't rush. They didn't knee jerk. They sat with it. They argued it out.
I don't know what took so long.
I mean, yeah.
Y'all should just waited for lunch.
Yeah, I don't know. Open pit was open back then, so they probably, it take them niggas 3 days for a big ass order like that. So it's a possibility. So on March 4th, 2024, they came back. And here's what they decided. Tirrell Edward was found not guilty of aggravated murder. But don't get comfortable now. Hold on now. Because he is found guilty of everything else. Tell the bitch we got him. We got him.
Gotcha, bitch.
Murder, felonious assault, and domestic violence. So no, this was not a he beat the case situation. The judge sentenced him to 24 years to life. And then they sent his dumb ass to Richland Correctional Institution. His earliest possibility for parole is 2047. Let me say that again real slow. 24 years to life. Right? 24 years to life. You know what I'm saying? You like to shoot people from behind, somebody gonna shoot you from behind. And I ain't talking about with a gun either, you nasty, you dumbass
Welcome
nigga.
to Boochie Cat Records.
Welcome to
ENT.
Boochie Cat Records ENT. You know what I'm saying? There you go. So for everybody who thought talking was gonna save him, for everybody who thought he could explain his way out of this, for everyone who thought getting on the stand was smart, for everybody who thought just because the nigga had some videos, it was going to get them off. The jury listened. They watched. They weighed in. And they still said, yeah, you did it, nigga. Because when the story doesn't line up, when the evidence doesn't match the excuses, and when you keep correcting yourself instead of telling the truth, the lies collapse. And in the end, they did. Just like his ass cavity going to collapse. All right, and there we go. And that was our... that was the case. What's wrong? Why are you so quiet? Because it's ass cavity. That's the case of Tirrell Edwards and Amanda Williams.
No. Oh my God, no. I wasn't even. For once, I wasn't thinking about you. I'm just like it was just so fucking senseless, and it was just the fact that he lied and he got up there all arrogant with his whole chest. I didn't kick her in the head. I just kicked her in the face. I didn't never touch. Like it's just. It pisses me off because it was so avoidable. She wasn't even coming at you. She wasn't looking at you. The girl was looking down at the phone and six shot it's just infuriating because that woman lost her life over nothing, over a nigga who couldn't leave. She said leave.
I mean, and that'd be my thing, right? Like real talk. I have always been the one where, when shit is getting out of hand, I'm the one where I'm going to break. I don't egg it on. I'm going to either bring it down or I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, depart and leave. That shit, you know what I'm saying, a person telling you sleep with one eye open, telling you to leave, but you talk about I'm going to stay. I have never stayed when somebody told me to leave. If a nigga want me gone, I'm nigga.
And especially if you're so-called threatening me, talking about sleep with one eye open, I'd be like, maybe I should just go ahead and call us somebody hey, can I come crash your house? We going through some things right now, and it's just gotten real tense. Let me just roll out for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, and that's letting to cooler heads prevail, my nigga. Know what I'm saying? But my thing is I don't I just don't get it. You gotta. Even in the worst situation where something happened where emotionally my emotion could get away from me, I have always controlled myself in a way where I always think of the logical thing, you know what I'm saying, regardless of the situation. I'm just going to remove myself from the situation where I don't even got to allow myself to get that anger or even put myself in there. The minute that she said she want me to leave, fuck work, I'm going to leave. Now, I might try to get my clothes, but depending on how severe it was, I'll just leave. All right, bye, bitch, you going to miss me. If you think you're lonely now, wait until tonight.
But look, the other thing is you said you removed two. Okay, so you knew there were 3 guns in the house. You removed 2 of them, but you still left one. So that lightweight makes me think that you planned this.
Yeah.
And you you know what I'm saying, and you took those videos because you planned it's to me it's giving more premeditated because you removed 2 guns out of the house, but you knew it was another because that's the first thing you went for. If you were so-called concerned about safety, you would have removed all 3 of them. So that doesn't make sense. And then I feel like he recorded the situation, he was recording to try and make his story make sense. You know what I'm saying? So he could justify it later when it came down. Well, if I stage this properly, you know what I'm saying? I can walk away from this, and that's really what it's giving me.
What it's giving me is an individual, weekend individual that would plan on doing this in the very beginning, and the whole purpose of him trying to do the recording to try to justify the nigga planned. It was already planned.
Nigga, I literally just said that's exactly what I just said.
Oh my bad, I was on my phone doing something. Yeah, well, what she said.
Like
right.
literally, that was the exact same thing that I
Oh, you
just said.
did? You really did say
Another
that?
day of Willie not paying attention.
Well,
You ain't did that in a
goddamn.
while. So we had a segment of Willie not paying attention today.
God damn, I was on my phone. Jeez. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. So, all right. So, what we doing? What you got anything to say? You did all your church announcements in the very beginning. So, yeah, that's about it. We're done. Just make sure to remember Love Lies and Alibis drop on Tuesday, and the only way you can listen to it is you gotta subscribe. So
You gotta subscribe. Like I say, we thank y'all for who have already subscribed. We're so excited. I have the case written for One Bad Night, and I'll give y'all a hint. It's another Cleveland case.
do I know the case?
I'll tell you about it, but it's a Cleveland case. And again, the 2 degrees of separation, I grew up with the nigga. And then the victim's sister is actually one of my friends. So yeah, it's gonna be a very good case. And I want to give a shout out to one of our listeners, Shanita, for assisting me with getting some more information.
She needed that's top heavy, right? Oh yeah, that's top heavy. I think she said she got a flat butt too. Damn shame. How you gonna
What
be
are you
cute with a
talking
flat
about?
butt and oh my bad. What? I swear, Shanita. That's the
What does
word.
that have to do with what I'm saying? I'm giving the woman a shout out for
Oh,
assisting us, and you over here on some trash. Stop it.
my bad. Go ahead.
So yes. So to make sure y'all tune in because those episodes will be dropping every other week. So like I said, y'all are gonna be loaded up on the subscription side. So I just want to run down and tell y'all exactly what y'all have on the subscription side. So every Sunday, the episode drops on subscriptions at midnight. It's ad free. So you get it a whole day early and you don't have no ads. Like we said, Love Lies and Alibis drops over there every single Tuesday. And that's unfiltered, y'all know it's unedited, it's just whatever it is comes out over there. So we said One Bad Night drops on February 7th, and then the following week you'll have the Cousin Confessions. And like I said, so every week you're going to have something at the end of the week, and you're gonna have Love Lies and Alibis and the episode at the beginning of the week. So we have plenty of content, and that's, of course, that's not all we're gonna have. We're always gonna have we're working on some more things like interviews we have coming up, along with a few other things. So like I say, it's worth the $4.99 a month. I promise, because when y'all spend money with us, I don't play about people's money. So I just want to make sure that y'all are getting a lot of content for that $4.99.
Yeah, can't beat that, man. I'll tell you that right now. That's better than a $5 bag from Wendy's.
Yeah, because that'd be gone, and you still be hungry after that.
You're probably gonna shit on yourself too. But that ain't the point. So go ahead and take us home, girl.
All right, so just remember that love should not come with a life sentence. So make sure you choose freedom and not felonies. And one last thing, shut the fuck up because it's free. All right, have a great week, and we will see y'all later.
And we out.